and welcome back to another episode of The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, the show where I, the curator, discuss my personal favorite show of all time, personal favorite franchise of all time, Doctor Who. And, ladies and gentlemen, we got a big one today, and it's so big, in fact, that it's bigger on the inside. And I can't do this alone, of course, because this is the first time I actually have guests on this show. Now, I'm going to introduce both of them right now. This first guest is a very close friend of mine. The guy loves Doctor Who. He's been watching Doctor Who since longer than I've been alive. But he's a wonderful human being. He's actually competed against me in Doctor Who trivia. He is a Canadian, so at least we get to keep one Canadian on this sort of maybe Canadian show. He is a good person that I love very much. He is an electric, legendary Pokemon from the Johto region. Rajko! How are you doing, good sir? Wait, what? Oh, shit!
There I am!
Wrong
hey,
Rajko.
50! Oh my god, that is the nicest introduction I have ever gotten, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to tell my mother to watch it, because that was nice. And yes, I have been, and I will say, the first time I ever saw Doctor Who was in 1975. And it was, what was that? The Silurians. And when I saw that dinosaur, that fake dinosaur in the cave, I was hooked, man.
That is one of the better ones. Especially, people don't realize it. That episode has one of the darkest endings of the era.
Yeah, no spoilers, but basically genocide.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
and,
basically, yeah.
The Doctor, not really a big fan of it. Not really having a good friend type relationship with the friend who was responsible. Again, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
But
I
yeah,
spoiled it with genocide, but that's okay.
Okay. Don't spoil a genocide. Anyways, so we also have another guest and another person I'm very, very excited to work with for the very first time. It's weird that he's been on on several shows on our channel, and I've heard this guy's name being thrown around there. I know people who know this person, but this is the first time we actually get to interact for the very first time on camera. He also designed my new logo for my channel. Please welcome. He's from another galaxy. He actually traveled the furthest to get here. He's from another galaxy. Please welcome Mr. Luke Skywalker. Hello, Mr. Luke. How are things in your galaxy? What? Oh man! Oh, it's this Luke from Galaxy Geeks. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. Let's start the show over. Come on.
Thanks for having me on, yeah.
All right. Let me just. I think it looks better if the two guests are on top. I don't know why. It just seems to work better, in my opinion. But
it's your show. Whatever floats your boat.
I don't know. It just seems a bit more organized that way.
Hey, you're in charge.
Now, before we actually get down to the main business of the show, and we do have a big one, there's somewhat of a tradition that I started a couple of weeks ago that I'm going to maintain. So every week on this show, before we get down to the main topics, I'm going to start us off by highlighting a birthday of someone from Doctor Who, either an actor or production member. And this week, I can't remember the exact date, but at some point in the most recent week was the birthday of Mr. Anthony Head. For those of you who are in the know, he in Doctor Who specifically, he played Brother Lassa in one of my favorite new Who episodes, featuring my personal favorite Doctor and my personal favorite companion, Sarah Jane Smith. It was School Reunion, that episode. He played the main sort of one-off villain. So happy birthday to Mr. Anthony. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't happen every week, thankfully, but unfortunately, we have to move on from something happy to something rather sad. This week also saw the passing of Mr. Stuart Bevan. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Yeah, Mr. Stuart Bevan played the character Clifford Jones in the episode The Green Death, the final episode of season 10 of the original classic series. Also, the last appearance of Jo Grant, or rather Jo Jones, as she was later known, as an official companion. They got married on the show, and that's why she had to leave the Doctor behind. Real world stuff. They were actually married in real life at the time, which actually fit pretty well. Unfortunately, they got divorced about a year after the episode itself aired, but they stayed in touch. They were still really good, close friends. I believe Katie Manning, the actress who played Jo Grant / Jo Jones, mentioned that she also wrote a book about her life and experiences, and he was a major part of it. And yeah, it's a sad thing. He was, I believe, 73 years old when he passed. So yeah, it's a sad, tragic thing whenever we have to say goodbye to a beloved actor from this beloved franchise. But he will be long remembered, and I believe in official Doctor Who canon, they are still married in the universe of Doctor Who. Jo and Cliff, they have 7 children and 13 grandchildren in the show. So I just wanted to bring up that moment celebrating the passing of Mr. Stuart Bevan. So I don't know how we're supposed to start the show like that now, but yeah, so today, if the title wasn't already enough of a giveaway, we are doing a tier ranking list of all of the TARDIS interiors, or rather any TARDIS interior that actually happened to appear on the show / any subsequent movies that came out from the show. And here we are. We have about 31 TARDISes, so might as well start to talk about them. And as we can see here, we also have 4 tiers. We have our S tier of I really like it, which is what Jodie Whittaker's Doctor actually says when she enters her TARDIS in the episode The Ghost Monument. We have You Sexy Thing, which is what Matt Smith said when he entered his TARDIS at the very end of the 11th hour. Obviously, I really like it is the S tier, our most favorite TARDISes. You Sexy Thing is the A/B tier because I decided to combine both of these at the same time. Obviously, the S tier is the one we love the most, the ones we absolutely adore. This tier is for the ones reserved mainly for the TARDISes that we don't think made quite as much of an impact, but we still love them. Then we have It's Bigger on the Inside, which is the generic term people describe whenever they enter the TARDIS for the very first time. This is like the tier for the bland ones, the ones that we don't really think is worth mentioning, and the ones we just gloss over to move on to the next one. And then we have I Don't Like It, which is what the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, said about the third Doctor's TARDIS in the episode The Three Doctors, which is also being said again by David Tennant's Doctor in Day of the Doctor, and it was said again by Clara Oswald for Peter Capaldi's TARDIS in the episode Deep Breath. Well, these are the 4 tiers we have. Let's first of all, what do you guys think about these 4 tiers? Did I did it right? Do we think we need an extra tier?
I think
it
looks
change
good.
anything?
I think it looks right.
I like the simplified. I actually like the ones where they have 5 or 6 tiers. Like it's hard. Like you either love it, you like it, it's or you don't, you hate it, right? That's really like, I think more than enough.
That's more or less what I was going for. Because when I had a couple of months ago, I had a 6-hour stream where I just tier ranked every single one-off Monster of the Week villain in the show's history, which is why it took 6 hours, and 4 different lists, because apparently you're only allowed to have not 100 images on Tier Maker, and there was clearly more. and I also went through Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures and all other stuff. I had like 8 different tiers for that one, or something crazy like that. I don't remember, but yeah, I tend to really go all out whenever I make these. So the first TARDIS we are going to be discussing here today is the original, you might say. The first TARDIS, the first Doctor's TARDIS, the original TARDIS from 1963. We have clearly the, I'm not sure the actual shape, the sextangular control column with the walls behind them. You can see the wires on the floor. You see that scanner up there? Yeah, you see
that's
that
a much
scanner
more flattering picture there. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you like it. You see that scanner up there? That is what I call a scanner there. That is the scanner. Those are the doors. That is the chair with a panda on it. Sheer poetry, my dear boy. Now, please stop bothering me. And here's another picture. So, what do we think about this TARDIS? Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, you know what, Luke? I believe you didn't watch like the old shows. So, just from these pictures, what do you think? Like,
I enjoy it. I actually really do. I think I see a lot more of I think they were going very much space influence on this one. I can really, I like it. I don't think it's probably in my higher ranking. I'd probably say it's bigger on the inside.
What I love about this most is that, yeah, like you said, they went for the space theme, but they also try to make it look like a home. They have these chairs, and there's the big clock, which you can't really see in this picture. There's the clothes hanger. There's all kinds of decoration. So
I think that's why I go. I think that's why I go more. It's bigger on the inside due to it. They did try to make it look more like a home, but I guess because I'm going off a more newer Doctor, they made those look more like ships, and basically said the home part of it was separate rooms that no one ever saw. So that's why I think I'm going this one a little bit lower.
Well, technically speaking, there is sort of an infirmary section, which was seen in the 3rd serial of the show. But
and they have like a little reading nook or a little like a bedroom as well in this one. Okay, I have to say it. This is the impact this thing has is insane. This is the original. I absolutely adore this one. So this for me. We'll see how we're going to even it out between the 3 of us. But this for me is if not my top, but definitely my top 3. It just this is one of the things that made the show. Yeah, you got to remember this is before. Like there were 2 things I think that make Doctor Who. One is the TARDIS, and when you first walk in, like. I can just imagine the people in 1963 when he walks out of that junkyard through that blue door of the police box into this thing. Their jaws drop. Their jaws drop. And the second thing that makes Doctor Who, which didn't happen till like the 3rd season, is the regeneration. Without that, you don't have Doctor Who the way you have it today. But so. I do like it aesthetically. I get it. If this is your first time watching and you just see it in the pictures, but it's for the aesthetics and for the impact. This has got to be one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's not my favorite, but it's an S tier level TARDIS in my opinion. I love William. I said this last week. William Hartnell is my 3rd favorite Doctor, and as a matter of fact, I can't remember if it was you, Rajko, or Chris Engel when I played Doctor Who trivia. I landed on the William Hartnell slice, and I kept it. And I think actually it's the Chris.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I forget what ours was. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I would have loved that one. Big huge fan of one. Yeah.
Really thinking about like on the history part, I'm gonna go up a little bit now. I'll say that's one sexy thing. I will go that route. I'll go a little bit higher for the history and since it was the first Doctor. I'm gonna give it a little bit higher just for those memories and those that momentous occasion. So I'll go a little bit higher.
Okay, so we're putting in the sexy tier.
Oh, is that the way it works? It's either unanimous or it goes down. Is that the way it works?
I don't know because
I think so. Because I think in order to be the top, I think it has to be unanimous.
Yeah, that works.
Okay,
we'll see. We'll see if we actually get there.
We could just put it at the top, but
No, I get it because it's
at the bottom.
Again, I'm old, so I may be going this more out of nostalgia than the actual look. So I'm more than willing to put it in "You Sexy Thing" because, and man, that fan or whatever it is at the top, that's just so cool.
Yeah, and here's an interesting fact that I was saving for the on-camera stuff. So you see the wall behind the two chairs there? They didn't have the budget for an extra wall with the round things, so all that you see over there, that's entirely printed. It's like a printed wall that they just slapped the image of the round things. That's why it looks so flat compared to these things. And actually, in Lego Dimensions, when you actually get to the Doctor Who level, and you can actually play as every single Doctor inside every single TARDIS, they actually kept that detail that wall is entirely printed. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be bulging, what I guess what the showrunners were intending. So I suppose
it's a sexy thing. It's sexy.
So it's a sexy thing. It's the top of the sexy.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fight if we do which one's the top. I would fight for that one to be top of the sexy.
Me too. It's either gonna be top of the sexy thing or bottom of the I like it because
because it does have some problems which I can talk when we talk about the later ones. What's the next one?
The next one, and I know you're going to like this, Rajko. We have the Peter Cushing movie TARDISes.
This thing, oh my God. All right, I'll go first this time. This thing is a piece of poop, but I love it. For those of you who don't know, so there was a Terry Nation had the rights to the Daleks, but not necessarily Doctor Who. So they made a movie that's not canon. The Doctor is actually a human. He's not an alien from Gallifrey. And they had this TARDIS, and basically they just threw a bunch of electronics crap, as you can see there, and just threw it. It is hideous. It is the most awful thing, but just the kitsch value alone, I honestly don't know how to rate this thing. It is awful and wonderful at the same time.
Well, I will say it has going for it. It does actually look like a laboratory, which is what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
So I wouldn't put it at the terrible, but
I gotta put I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I get it. I mean, this is pure nostalgia for me because I love kitsch. I love like bad horror movies, stuff like that. So I'm okay with the not liking it, but there's just, and it's not even. Well, technically, it is bigger on the inside, right? Yeah, it is bigger on the inside. Yeah. But oh man, yeah, no, it is awful, but it is the best awful ever. I will fight for this to be at the top of the awful.
All right.
We can put for don't like it, but at the top of don't like it.
Yeah, at the top of don't like it. And well, I'm sorry to say this, Rajko, but you may have missed a slight detail there. There were actually two movies.
Yes, that's from the first one. I didn't see.
And there's actually a second one. They actually changed it.
And it's a cleaner look. It actually, you know what? This one isn't as hideous.
It looks
a little more spacey, but it doesn't have the same kitsch value that the other one does. So I think I have to put it
like a TARDIS from the inside. That's the main problem with it. It doesn't look like it looks like a human laboratory. It doesn't look like a TARDIS.
It doesn't. I have to say I don't like it. And also, not only the only thing I like about this one, because some of the newer TARDISes do, the door on the inside matches the door on the outside, so you don't get the jar. You don't get that jarring. Because one of the problems with the old TARDISes is the doors on the inside were these mega huge blocks, right? And when they open up, it's this tiny little blue door, and it kind of like took me out of it all the time. But in this case, the doors match. But yeah, no, I don't like it.
I don't either. I gotta put this below as well. The other one had a lot more character to it. I didn't like it, but it had more character to it. This one just looks like a lab. I mean, it doesn't look as much character to it.
Okay.
I agree 100%, man. But I love this film, though. This film is a blast. Doctor Who Invasion of the...
Whenever I revisit it, I try to look at it more as a stage play production rather than a serious film.
It's a comedy. It is not a... It's a comedy, 100% comedy. It's awesome.
Don't take it as a Doctor Who episode.
Not even close.
It's basically that they adapted the first two Dalek stories into movies, so it's relatively the same plot.
Yeah, pretty much the same one, but this one is just pure comedy, especially the thing on the ship with the androids. That's hilarious.
Yeah. The fun fact, though, this character you see in the middle right there, the male one, the officer.
Let's see if he recognizes it. If Luke recognizes it, do you have a better picture of it? No, not from this picture.
No, I don't think you can because you can't see his face. I couldn't find a good picture of his face. But that's Bernard Cribbins, who played
Donna's father, right?
Grandfather, yeah.
Grandfather, sorry. Donna's grandfather, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
And also another bonus fun fact, in the Day of the Doctor novelization, they actually made a point to say that those movies are not canon, but they are actual movies within the fictional world of Doctor Who. And the first and 10th Doctors are fans, and the 11th and 10th Doctors are fans, and the 11th Doctor actually visited the set and gave Peter Cushing the jacket that he's wearing. So, cool. In universe, the jacket was given by the 11th Doctor, not Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor. It's pretty funny. Next, this one's going to be pretty brief. We have the Meddling Monk's TARDIS. And don't let your eyes fool you. It doesn't really look like that. It's just the Doctor did something that made the inside of the TARDIS match the size of the outside of the TARDIS.
Just for the joke, this is what it looks like, yeah. Just for the joke value, it's actually a cool looking TARDIS. They just took the main TARDIS and changed it around a bit. Just for pure joke value, I'm gonna say it's bigger on the inside because it isn't.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'd go bigger on the inside. I'd go lower than the first Doctor, but bigger on the inside.
Yeah, this was a one-time off thing where it was basically another. Is this the first time that another Time Lord was on? Right. This is right. Yeah.
Aside from Susan, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, aside from Susan, and he actually had his own TARDIS and stuff. It was cool.
And the frustrating part is that you're going to see this a lot, especially with the Master. Basically, they just take, it's the same thing as the Doctor's TARDIS. It just looks more evil. They just painted the round things black, and the floor is black now. They do this a lot with Doctor Who. It's like, it's exactly like the Doctor's, but evil. And I don't know if you guys
save money. It's to save money, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys.
I can't remember on the newer Doctor Who's. Did the Master have a TARDIS in the newer ones?
In Jodie Whittaker's second season, he does.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay. I've not gotten there, so that's why I was not for sure on the other seasons, but I could not remember him having one.
Because he didn't. He's right. Not until Jodie.
Yeah. So next we have not much of a difference from the first Doctor. The second Doctor's TARDIS.
They didn't change much except that they took the stuff out. So bigger on the inside because they really, really didn't do much. In fact, I think it's the same one. It's the same one.
At least they fixed the wall. Oh, no, actually, they didn't. It's still the same printed wall.
Yeah, and it honestly, I don't know if it's the way they shot it, if they used different cameras, but it didn't have the same life or the lighting. So yeah, no, it doesn't look as good as the original. It never did. But it's weird because it's the same one.
And it feels emptier because they took all the first Doctor's knickknacks out of it.
Yeah, I think that those knickknacks really add to it.
Oops, that's a wrong TARDIS.
Yeah.
So bigger on the inside, below,
bigger on the inside. It's not awful, but they didn't do anything to it, right? Like
I agree with that.
No. It's second. No, the other one. There. Yeah, because it's just they didn't do anything.
Okay. Now we transition into the world of Technicolor with the third Doctor's TARDIS.
It looks like the second one just colored.
There is some
I'm pretty
differences,
sure
but
the
yeah,
column itself is different.
there is a little bit of differences. The actual console is different and stuff. It's not bad. They do a lot with it during the show, and honestly, they don't even introduce it until the second or the
Oh
third.
yeah. They go like one or two seasons without even showing you the interior of the TARDIS.
Yeah, so I mean, I like it because it's the first time you see it in color. When you actually see the thing move, it looks cool. I think they changed the way it moves or something. Um, and so I like it, but I mean, I get it if you don't, because just from the pictures, there's very little difference except for the fact that it's in color.
I'd go bigger on the inside, top at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm okay with that. Because they didn't do much with it, but they just made it a little bit better for color.
Yeah.
I think I put two pictures here, but we're just gonna put. I guess we're gonna put both of them here and pretend it's the same picture.
Okay. Are we getting to? Okay, I'm excited. Are we getting to the one? Are we getting it?
Don't. I know what you're thinking of. Don't get your hopes up because
okay.
Before we have to talk about this, which is the Masters Tardis from the Claws of Axos.
I don't remember what it looks like on the inside.
Me neither. I completely forgot before I started doing a research for this episode. I mean, and I only found these two pictures.
Well, the cool thing is this is the way the TARDIS looks in its native form, right? So this is the TARDIS without the chameleon circuit doing anything to it. So that's kind of cool. But I don't remember what it looked like on the inside. I think you don't really see it because the one time they show it, all the Claws of Axos stuff, like all the organic material was in it, wasn't it? Wasn't he surrounded? The one time you see it, he was surrounded by the Axos people? Or is that the Doctor? So. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, so I don't know. I like the outside, but I don't even, I think by default it should go in the bottom tier because I don't know what the inside looked like.
Yeah, I would put it at the bottom just because, it's not really fair to say yes or no to it because we don't really know what it looks like.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, like you don't even see it very well because of the fact that the like I said, what the one time they show it, it's really looks like the inside of the Axos ship, like it's overgrown in the inside. It's kind of weird. But
okay. I seem to have made another oopsie, which bit of behind the scenes stuff that I told these two guys before we started recording. I had some technical issues with my laptop, so I had to restart it. And, I guess I didn't upload the picture of the Masters Tardis. So because I uploaded two pictures of the third Doctor's Tardis, we're going to assume this one is the Masters.
But can you show, because there's one, there's one of the third Doctor that I want to talk about because it's, okay.
I know.
Are you going to show that one? Yeah, okay. Get ready for this.
Before we get to that, just for reference, this is what the Masters TARDIS looked like from the outside in Terror of the Autons. This is what a proper TARDIS looks like when the chameleon circuit actually works.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like anything. It's supposed to blend in with its environment.
It was always funny to me that they kept the Doctor's TARDIS looking like a police box to save money. But whenever the Master or the Rani or another TARDIS shows up, they keep changing the look of the TARDIS, but they keep the Doctor's TARDIS the same. So they can spend money on the villain's TARDIS, but not the main character. Which is
rented a truck. How much money does that cost?
Yeah, but there was the truck. There was the column from
the column. Yeah. The column was cool. But we're not doing the outside ones.
Clock. There's the statue. Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. I wanna absolutely go ballistic on this one.
Okay, and here you go.
Okay. This is the Masters, but it's actually basically the other Doctors as well. Yeah. It's identical.
Because, again, to save time, they said they just had a throwaway line of like, oh yeah, the Doctor's TARDIS looks like the inside of the Master's TARDIS because he tried to redecorate, but it's basically the same TARDIS. for lack
Oh
of a better.
my fucking lord, I hate this one. Look at those salad bowls. They literally put salad bowls in the what the hell were they think? Maybe you like it because it's the first time you've seen it, but they use
Oh, I
Mm-mm.
hate
salad
it.
bowls.
I don't like it at all. It looks small too. Like the console looks way too big for this TARDIS, and it just does. It's not appealing to the eyes, especially like I mean it just reminds me of like salad bowls. It really doesn't look that appealing to the eyes. So I would put it at I don't like it.
Oh, this is the worst. This worst of the worst of the worst. It is bad.
But I do remember you saying you liked the idea that you see this picture
Oh,
that the Doctor's TARDIS was inside the Master's TARDIS, and the Master's TARDIS was inside the Doctor's TARDIS, and they
oh
just
yeah,
kept.
that's so absolutely. So for those who haven't seen this episode, there's an absolutely amazing bit where the two TARDISes get stuck inside each other. So it's like what are those, like when you see those you see like a picture of somebody holding a picture of themselves, and then they see a picture of themselves holding a picture, and it keeps going infinite. So this is what it was. So when you walk out the door, you walk in from the Doctor's TARDIS, you walk into the Masters Tardis, and you just keep going. It's like an infinite loop. They're stuck inside each other. I just love that concept.
Yeah, the TARDIS design looks terrible, and I'm glad it was only for that one episode, which was a season finale anyway. And then they just, for some reason, they went back to the original design. Because for those of you who didn't notice, this is how it looks like in a previous season prior to the one we just talked about, and this is how it looks like the season after that episode. So they had this design. For some stupid reason, they decided to go with this thing, and then they saw it didn't work, so they went back to this. So,
yeah.
So,
No, bad, horrible,
bottom
bad.
of the bottom. Okay.
But
Below
are you gonna have a hard time convincing me there's something worse? Except maybe the next one. If
No,
I
no,
see that, no.
We do have a little bit of. Actually, no. I think these are just the same.
Oh, this is the I have to say they really did a nice job of dressing this is the first time I believe you see the inside of the Masters TARDIS, because this is the first time they actually travel in the TARDIS in the Third Doctor's.
Actually, I think this is from Colony in Space.
Yeah, Colony in Space, which is the first time he actually uses the TARDIS, I believe, in like the Third Doctor, John Pertwee. And I love, look at the outside. So this is the spaceship. So this is his chameleon circuit actually working. The outside looks phenomenal. The door on the outside matches the door on the inside. And they really did a nice job of dressing up. I like this one. So I have to, it's sexy. I just rewatched this like a while ago, and it's sexy. The production, the design people really did a nice job on this one. I wish you had more pictures, so take a look. But it's sexy. It is definitely sexy.
I'm gonna have to take your word on that one, just because there's really not enough here for me to say yes or no.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree, but I dug this thing. They really I don't know when's the last time you saw this 50.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'll take my word for it. This one's sexy.
Okay.
And look at that bread. That bread is just awesome. It just pops.
And apparently it was so awesome that I actually forgot to include it in this list. So I just added it there. So it's sexy. Better than the first Doctor's TARDIS?
No. It's not better than no. But it is definitely sexy.
All right.
Okay. It is sexy. Now, speaking of sexy, here's one of my personal favorites, and I uploaded a bunch of pictures for this one. We have, technically speaking, the first time we see the interior of the fourth Doctor's TARDIS.
Wait, this isn't the first time you see the fourth?
No, because
Oh yeah,
you
you're
don't
right.
see the interior. You don't see the interior in Tom Baker's first or second season. You see it in his third when it's him and
right.
Sarah Jane taking a walk in the TARDIS, and they accidentally stumble upon what he refers to as the old.
Yeah, I
The
forgot
old
about
command.
that.
Yeah.
So you're saying this is one of your favorites? I hate this one. It's brown
Really?
on brown. It looks like it's Victorian. It doesn't look space agey at all. Look at that. That's just crap. That's just poop on poop on poop.
Honestly, I like it.
Oh my god.
I just
You
think
people.
it looks to me, yeah, it's not really a spacey, but it gives me almost like a kind of like a cathedral type look to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
And I
that
think that's what
old.
they were going for. And here's the scarf. And I love that there's like a stained glass window on the side there. And I love the Victorian look for it.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
you have to
Okay.
remember, you have to remember, this is, even the Doctor says it, it's the secondary command control
Yes.
room. It's meant to look old and ragged, and like the Doctor hasn't visited in centuries. So that's why I love it so much.
And there is one of the best scenes inside a TARDIS is actually takes place on here. So it's the first Leela scene where they're inside the TARDIS. She's playing with the yo-yo.
Yeah.
And then he explains to her how the
Which
whole
box is larger.
Yeah, which box is larger. Yeah, and the yo-yo. Why? I thought no. I just thought you'd like playing with the yo-yo. I thought it kept the thing going.
It was part of the magic.
So okay, I will go with you. I will veto the top tier, but I will put it in the sexy thing, and then you guys decide where it should.
Yeah, I'd go sexy thing.
Okay, above Colony in Space, or
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, but do not. I will fight you if you put it higher than the old one.
I wasn't planning to. Remember,
Okay,
I
will come down. Wait.
No, remember.
Which ones do you really like it? What?
I wanted to put the first one up here. So that
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. All right. Oh, I think we're coming to my favorite now.
Not necessarily. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah. Is this the one you're referring to?
Yes, and I'll say why I love this one. Okay, so it looks very sparse here, and I think it's just a bad picture because there's no dressing or anything. But they did a bunch of great improvements. It's the white on white, which is like the space agey stuff. They have they perfected the circles because they sometimes just look like it's light. They have the columns, but they have the view screen. This is the first time they use a big
Star
view
Trek
screen.
view screen.
Yeah, I mean they used it in the old one, but in the brown one, right? But they use this one. The doors, I love the way the doors work. Like I love this one. Like I mean, it like the pictures. It's the problem is these pictures make it look very sparse, but it did not look sparse in the show. It really didn't.
Pictures I could find.
Yeah. And this is the one where you had multiple rooms. You had bedrooms, and you had that god awful episode where they have a pool in it. Remember, it's like
what? Oh, hold on. What's wrong with the pool?
It looks like the Y, the pool in the Y. Oh my God.
Okay.
So we'll let Luke decide because I get it. It doesn't look great in these pictures, but this is an absolute, like, I think they perfected it here.
If I'm gonna go, I would say at the top of it's bigger on the inside.
Oh
wow, really that low?
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Can we at least put it on the bottom of the "you sexy" thing as a compromise?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
And what just how it looks, it just doesn't look as to me doesn't look like they did enough with it. Just what I've seen.
Here's the thing. Despite what Rajko is saying, I love that episode. First of all, it's my favorite Sontaran episode, The Invasion of Time.
Wow.
Well, actually, the most recent one, the Sontaran episode with Jodie Whittaker, is kind of in competition to overtake that one as my favorite Sontaran episode. But
okay. Your taste in Sontaran episodes have a lot to be desired, 50.
Well, you know what I have to say to that?
You're kicking me out?
Sonta.
Yeah,
But
you nerd.
see, here's the thing. In that very same episode, we see the TARDIS like never before. Because they actually, in order to escape the Sontarans, they actually go inside the TARDIS, and we see the multiple rooms. There's different floors. There's a sick bay. There's a library. There's an art gallery. Like you said, the pool.
There's a greenhouse. It's massive. It is massive.
So much inside the TARDIS, and you just don't realize how big this thing is. And that's why it's an S-tier TARDIS design for me.
It is. Like, I get it. It does look. So I don't know. I would fight to put it in a much topper
tier.
Well,
if I had seen pictures of that, because honestly, I wish the newer Doctors had shown more of the rooms. I actually do wish that was always something that I had a complaint about with the newer TARDISes. They never really showed the other rooms. It's just the main room, and it's just would be interesting
on
to
the
see
classic
more.
one too. So don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, that was always something that really always bothered me in general with the TARDISes, is they never really showed how big it really is, because I know there's multiple rooms and they always talk about it, but it almost is always a offhand joke over actually showing it.
Well, in this case, they did actually show it, and it is massive. Like, some of the production design is very wonky because they just went into a building and shot it, but it's still it's phenomenal.
And you can tell they shot it in a building.
Yeah. You can shot it. It's not very space agey, but
you can also tell that they used the same floor for multiple shots.
Absolutely. Like, this is the whole it's the same hallway over and over again joke, right? In Doctor Who joke.
And one of my favorite moments is when they get lost, and the Doctor's like, wait, how could I get lost? I know the TARDIS like the back of my hand. And then Leela goes in and just flips him to show him the back of his hand.
He goes, oh.
Oh, that's the back of my hand.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So are we putting it in the sexy thing? Because I don't.
Yeah, might as well. Go ahead and put it.
Okay. Because it is.
So because you don't like this TARDIS, I'm going to put it right here next to the first.
Yes, it is much. Yeah. Like, I guess maybe we're being a bit nostalgic too, because of like the best episodes take place in that one. But it is a phenomenal TARDIS.
Yeah.
All right.
And also in this specific Doctor's era, we get to see Romana's room. We get to see Adric's room. So
later when they go on, there's tons of rooms, and the rooms are really nice. So I think in combination of all that, so unfortunately Luke doesn't have because he's young. I assume you're much younger than me.
Yeah, 28.
Probably.
It's safe to assume. That's 28
very
too.
Young. You're 28 too.
28.
So I'm old enough to be both. Oh my God! Just go on to the next one. While I drink myself silly. All right.
Okay. So speaking of old people, we have Professor Chronotis's TARDIS.
Oh, I don't remember what this looks like. This is Shada, right?
Yeah, the infamous unreleased episode.
Oh, I don't remember what the indoors looks like. I mean, the inside looks like.
Okay, so I'm going to show you. Basically, it's a library. You don't even realize it's a TARDIS until much late. Spoiler again. Where is it? You don't even realize it's a TARDIS until late in the story. There it is.
Yes, I do remember now.
And basically, when they go into the time vortex, it's basically just the inside of the room flying through the vortex, which is kind of silly.
It looks cool. I like the fact that the chameleon circuit works on the inside too.
Honestly, I think on this one I gotta go. I don't like it. Just because I think if you're gonna do a TARDIS, I think it needs to actually look like a TARDIS.
But see, the whole point is that he's a renegade, villainous Time Lord hiding on Earth. So he hides his TARDIS, and that's why it looks like a library, because he's hiding. He's incognito.
Okay.
And the library aesthetic may or may not have inspired another TARDIS on this very list.
Spoilers. But you know what? It's got to go lower because it's not that great a TARDIS. So I agree with him. It's a cool concept, but it's not that great a TARDIS. I don't think I like it either.
So I don't like it. Maybe the top of you guys. We'll go up top of I don't like it.
No, don't no. I'm fighting for my kitsch, man. Don't mess with my kitsch of the old. It's the worst TARDIS, but it's awesomely kitsch. All right,
so
fine. Put it where you want. Put it where you want. You don't understand what I think I might have seen the film before I actually saw Doctor Who.
Wow, really?
I think so. I think I saw the film, and I remember being confused because I thought he was or I remember being confused about him being an alien.
So
yeah, right there. That works. That works.
Two Peter Cushing TARDISes.
Yeah, that works.
There we go.
Okay.
That other one could go on the bottom, but I'm okay. It's just the first one needs to be kitsch, man. All right, what's next?
So next, another unfortunate case of very sparse pictures, but it's first of all, there's the outside. It's
I remember. Yeah, doesn't it look just black on the inside?
Pretty much, yeah. It's the Masters Tardis from the Keeper of Traken. And brace yourself, Luke. This is the Master. This is the Master inside his TARDIS. And this is the Master trying to take over the Doctor's life. You can kind of slightly see behind him the round things, but just
they painted them black. Yeah.
Honestly,
it's not
I think
awful.
It's interesting. Actually,
it's
think
not awful.
I'd go bigger on the inside because it's not terrible. But I mean, since we don't know fully what it looks like, I'd have to give it higher on the higher on the inside or bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I agree because it's not as bad as I remember. It actually looks pretty good in these pictures.
All right.
Yeah,
these are the only pictures I was able to find, so maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Right, next we have. Oh wow, really? Nope. There's the fifth Doctor's TARDIS.
Which that's the same as the fourth.
Oh, it really is. Sorry, that's the fourth Doctor's TARDIS.
Yeah, you can see, yeah.
But
we already did that one. It's the same. All the four ones are basically the same. And the fifth one is the same as the fourth. They really didn't do anything to it.
Well, I'm going to fight you on that in just a minute, but in between that, we have another TARDIS that I cannot see going beyond the bottom tier. It's Omega's TARDIS.
Oh God, yeah. It's
where they decided to make it green for some reason.
And no. This whole episode is just a bunch of poop.
There's some good stuff in it, but not that much. But
I don't like it close to the bottom.
Oh God, it's awful. Yeah.
I wish they bring Omega back at some point, especially with the theory that he's basically the could have been king, if you're familiar with that concept. But where are you putting this? Below the salad balls?
Yeah, go below salad bowl. I don't like
okay, I was hoping the salad bowl would be worse, but that one is pretty bad.
All right. Now, we have the 20th anniversary TARDIS, which is the fifth Doctor's TARDIS. No, that's the fourth one again.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? But this is the fifth Doctor's TARDIS.
So they did change the console. And I don't like this console.
Really? You don't?
I don't either. It looks like it was kind of like placed together. I do like that picture better. I would put it above the fourth Doctor. I mean, it's not great, but I'd still put it above the fourth Doctor.
The funny thing about this TARDIS design is that it was introduced in the 20th anniversary. It was given to the fifth Doctor, but it actually lasted all the way into the seventh Doctor's TARDIS. You can see here, that's actually Sylvester McCoy wearing Colin Baker's clothes in the regeneration scene because Colin Baker refused to appear in this scene. So Sylvester McCoy basically did the whole thing with his clothes in the regeneration scene. So it's easily my least favorite regeneration scene in the show's history, specifically for the Doctor. But
I have to agree. I don't like the I mean, this one's not awful, but it's just, I I wasn't always a big fan of that console, but I can see why people like it because it's got a lot of pretty colors.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fourth Doctor's one is better.
I agree. I know.
I love the reveal. I love the concept that they made it specifically for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah,
and they gave it to Peter Davison's last season.
I would say put it just underneath the fourth. I know he thinks it's better, but I think between the two of us, we'll outvote him a bit.
That's fine. That's fine.
But it's not awful. It is not awful. Can I tell you a secret? I am not a fan of the Fifth Doctor.
It's not a secret. I already knew it.
Oh, you already knew it, yeah.
This might throw everything a little bit out of loop, but since I don't have as long to be on, can we dive into some of the newer Doctors and then come back to the old?
Yeah, let's do the newer ones because so Luke can, and then we'll go back to the old ones.
Which is good because all the ones left are basically villains TARDIS. So
okay, all right, we'll go into those later.
Let's skip ahead. One of my personal favorites.
Oh,
the 9th/10th Doctor's TARDIS.
I gotta go sexy. I think that one's sexy.
It is sexy. I for me, there's a few problems with it that I wouldn't put it in top tier, but it is sexy.
Wow. Well, it's top tier for me, but I mean, if it's sexy, then it's sexy.
So, like one of the issues I had with it is this, that it looked a little too organic. And I get it that they made the TARDIS as a living thing, but it just looked a tiny bit too organic for me. But otherwise, it's a good looking TARDIS.
The organic is the reason I love it so much.
Honestly, I love the newer looks of the TARDIS. I think it's a little bit. I like them a lot more than the older TARDIS.
Well, they spent a lot of money on it. I'll have to grant you that. But there is some that I will fight you how awful they are. But this one's not bad. It's definitely on the top of the sexy, maybe the second.
Yeah, we'll do that. Second sexy.
Yeah.
Because
you gotta give love to the original.
Yeah.
All right.
And next, we have a TARDIS that I actually got to be on.
Oh wow!
When I went to the Doctor Who experience, back when it was still in London before they moved it back to Cardiff, we have the 11th Doctor's TARDIS.
Oh, okay.
That's a good picture. I do like this one. I like this one. It is not my favorite, but it's because it looks a little more space agey, but they kept the same color scheme.
I'd gotta go with this one. I'm gonna have to go. It's sexy, and I'd put it a little bit above the last one.
Agreed.
Above the David Tennant TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yep. Just because you could tell that I mean, for one, they had more money, but it just has more of a. It looks bigger, like more room in it, and I always had fun with it when Matt Smith had it.
And they added some levels, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like that. They added stairs, and also they worked underneath the console a lot, which was always a interesting look whenever they added that to the show. So I like this one a lot more.
This one's great. I really like this one. I mean, there is some problems I have with it, but it's awesome. It really is.
Okay.
Now are we getting to the let's get to it. I think this is
the next one Capaldi, I'm guessing?
Yeah. No, is it Capaldi?
Not necessarily. So we said we're placing it in the sexy tier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very sexy. It's very close to being top tier.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The next one, unfortunately, still not Capaldi. Still not Capaldi. We have this thing from the episode The Lodger. You remember that episode with the James
Corden? I forgot it was a TARDIS. Is it a TARDIS? It's
that
not
episode.
Yeah, but it's not Gallifreyan, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a spoiler. That's they never specifically say where this TARDIS came from, but you're just led to assume that.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
let's put I don't like it and let's move on. This was not a fun episode.
This is I don't like it.
I remember skipping through this episode when I tried to watch it. It was just
Is it
was
worse
trying to be
than
comedic.
No, it is not worse than
no.
In fact, it's not even. It's in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, go middle. I don't like it. Yep, that works.
Yeah. All right. Which one? Okay,
right?
Is this the spoiler one? Let's go.
This is the one I spoiled earlier. which actually has a bit of an interesting story behind it. It's the one from the Doctor's wife. You remember that episode?
Yes,
When the
I
TARDIS
like
became a sentient.
one of the things I like about this one is they really evoke the original show with the design uh, of the console. It's much like it looks like the original show, and that's one of the things I like about this console. So I like this one. I don't know if I'd put it bigger on the inside or sexy.
I'd go bigger on the inside. I mean,
Okay.
I like it, but it's not. I could tell it's not as. I mean, it's not as fleshed out because of how the episode was. They didn't have to flesh it out, so I gotta go bigger on the inside.
Right, but one of the things I like about it, like I said, it looks like the old TARDIS console, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, okay, can I tell a funny story though? Maybe that'll sway your opinion.
Maybe.
So, when the 11th Doctor was originally cast, they had like a contest where just children draw what they want the TARDIS console room to look like. Okay, and there was this little girl, I think she was 10 or 11 years old. She won the contest, but her concept design never actually made it onto the show because that was just a fun gimmick to get fans involved. And they actually had the idea of what the TARDIS was going to look like, which is this. They actually had that idea already planned out. But her design was actually used in the show, and it was this one from that episode. So,
that makes me not like it. that makes me not like it. That's terrible. They should have that they basically lied to fans. I
get that. I was about to say, don't you like children? But
no, they lied to the kids.
No, it's true. Terrible. Okay, you know what? We got to keep it bigger on the inside because he's right. They screwed that poor little 10-year-old's dreams.
They lied to her. No, I'm at the bottom of bigger on the inside.
Yeah, bottom.
That's terrible. Bigger on the inside. It's not even a full TARDIS.
It's terrible. Like
you know what? It actually reminds me of that famous story of the guy that came up with the idea that Spider-Man's costume becomes a supervillain, and then they never actually acknowledged it until years later when they actually made the whole Venom storyline. It's the same as that.
It's the same as that.
They lied to the fans. I don't like it.
There's a difference between lying to a someone who works for you and lying to a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like it's
horrible. Well,
like
I mean,
you won and they never used it.
Well, I mean, you lie to kids all the time, telling them Santa Claus is real and stuff. But this is different.
Yeah, you actually
they have to put a lot of work into designing, and that's awful.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You can't convince us. That's a horrible
the worst
story.
part of it is they go out of their way in the episode to specify that this TARDIS is trash, that it's made from trash and a TARDIS.
Oh my God! Put it in the bottom tier.
Yeah,
they destroyed. To put it in the. I can't believe you thought that story was going to sway us to make it better.
That was awful.
I mean, it swayed you. I didn't say it swayed you to make a better. To sway you upwards. I just said influence your decision.
It did. It did.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. It might be one of the last ones I can do for tonight.
Yeah. Let's do Capaldi's.
Let's try to go positive. It's not Capaldi's yet.
No, go to Capaldi's because he has to leave.
Oh
yeah.
Well, the next one is
actually I will say with this one I will put it above the other one of Matt Smith.
I like this one. I don't know if I'd put it above, but I do like this one.
Here's where I was going with this is actually the next one. It's not Capaldi's, it's Matt Smith's second TARDIS.
That's right.
This is Capaldi's one.
Ooh.
And the main difference is they changed the lighting from this
but they added doors, they changed the lighting, they put in books.
Put the libraries there, the bookshelves.
This is where I want to live.
Capaldi's is S. That's S tier.
Capaldi's is where I want to live. Capaldi's is what if I had millions of dollars, I would build a room to look like Capaldi's. These pictures do not do it justice. How beautiful and wonderful this thing is.
I think it really makes homage to the originals with the circles in the background. It really puts a lot of emphasis on technology. I think it's a very smart design. It's very clean looking. I gotta put S tier above everything else.
I agreed. This is my favorite. It's got the books to make it look homey. It's got the levels so you can do some interesting camera work on it. This was the pinnacle of the TARDIS design right here.
And going back to what I said earlier, it was slightly influenced by Professor Chronotis' TARDIS, the library look.
Oh, well, I can see that, but in this case, it actually looks like a TARDIS. So
and
it's amazing how you can take something that's crap and turn it into gold.
Yeah, and a little bit of a fun fact: those circle things, they were actually added on in Capaldi's second season. Because this is a picture from his first season. You don't see them.
Okay.
This is still mostly part of Smith's TARDIS. But speaking of which, do we want to talk about Smith's TARDIS now that we've already blown past Capaldi's?
Yeah, it's fine. We can go ahead and talk about it real quick. I really like it. I like the design of it. I could tell it they were getting up to the Capaldi. I think the site. I like it better than the first version of the Matt Smith. So I gotta put it above Matt Smith.
Yes, it's sexy. It's definitely sexy, but it's not. Yeah. It took Capaldi and a couple of minor changes to make it the S tier.
Yeah, I agree, because you look at Capaldi's one, it feels much more roomy with the bookshelves and everything. And I think the color of the main central column is better. It's much more warm color as opposed to the cold blue color of this. This one just feels empty to me. So that's why I prefer Capaldi's.
I agree 100%. Capaldi's is easily the best artist they've ever designed.
Wow. Now we have a bit of an in-between TARDIS, which is the War Doctors Tardis. Sort of a transitional period between the classic era and the Christopher Eccleston TARDIS. You can see the beginnings of the Eccleston TARDIS and the end of the classic era TARDIS.
Yeah, the two just don't work. I see what they were going for, but they just don't work together.
I would say bigger on the inside, on the lower end, just because it just felt it didn't feel like a great TARDIS even when we first saw it.
Yeah, and I think because you're taking these two concepts and mashing them together, and I guess in storyline it makes sense because the War Doctor didn't want to put too much effort into the TARDIS. So it makes sense why they just took a modern era TARDIS and fused it with a classic era TARDIS to make this. Oops, sorry. See, behind the scenes stuff. I have to keep deleting pictures that we already showed to bring up new ones because there's a limit to StreamYard. So that's what I did there.
Can you before I go, can we look at the Joey Whittaker?
Sure, but where are we putting this?
I would say bigger on the inside at the very end. I think it's got some redeeming qualities, but not super great.
The concept is great. The execution's not so great. So I agree with Luke on that one. Yeah, we agree.
I'm actually nervous to see where this falls. We have TARDIS.
Okay, the only thing that this thing has going for it, I like the colors, but otherwise it's awful.
Oh wow, that thing's horrible. That thing is so. It looks. Wow, that's the worst TARDIS I've seen.
It is easily the worst.
It doing the little claw things in it. I like the colors, but it looks so. It looks like you're walking into a villain's lair, not a doctor's TARDIS. It looks so.
It looks like you're getting swallowed up by a creature. It looks like a spider is like hugging you to death.
Yeah, I don't know whoever came up with this design. It just looks like I would be claustrophobic. It looks extra. It doesn't look functional. Like the Capaldi era one looks so good because it was so open and looked you could tell the bookshelves and it looks so open. It had homages to the original TARDIS. This just looks like we wanted to do our own thing and we threw up something and here it is.
Oh.
Mm.
And what is that thing that like from the top is hanging from the ceiling? So like I don't know what that thing is. Like
I think
just
it's
that
like
thing hanging
supposed
from
to
the ceiling.
be. I think it's supposed to be like this central column that we see here, except it's instead of being connected, it's in two pieces. So like
It's awful.
it's an
Oh, it's
homage to the
horrible.
original TARDIS, where the column just stops at the middle half of it, rises and falls, and those long claws also rise and fall with the column.
I know. I've
Whenever-
seen the show. It's awful.
Yeah, this just looks bad. This just looks really bad. I'm gonna have to put I don't like it at the very end because it just doesn't look like a TARDIS.
Easily, yeah, it's horrible. It's got no kitsch value. The only thing going for it, like I said, I do like the color. The color is nice, but everything else
the color just screams Gallifreyan to me.
It does. It does.
It does. It just. Other than that, I'd still gotta put it at the end. Do you have this one's one because we were talking about this earlier? Do you have Clara's TARDIS?
Yes, I do. So here it is. We have Clara and Clara's TARDIS at the very end of Hellbent. God, I hate that episode.
God, I forgot how much it looks like the original.
Yeah,
that's the only positive I can say about this is that it looks like the original, which goes into another problem I have with Stephen Moffat, feeling the need to just throw everything he can from the classic series into the modern series, and sometimes it feels like paying homage. Sometimes it feels like it's just pandering to classic Who fans.
But you know why? But you know, no, it's not great. But you know why it works from a story wise? Because she stole an original TARDIS that hasn't been molded yet, right?
Honestly, so to me, I liked this one. I really did. I think it.
I'm with him. It's not awful.
No, and I love the fact it's so white. It gave original Who fans something that they really enjoyed back in the day. And to me, this probably I got to put it on the sexy. It's not at the top. I'd say probably close to the end of the sexy, but I feel like it really paid homage to the very first TARDIS, and it looks very open. And honestly, I actually really like this episode.
I don't like the episode. Don't go that far. But I do like I do like the concept. I understand what you're saying. It's pandering, but the concept is this is a fresh TARDIS that's never been used. So of course it would look like the original. Because the original he stole because it wasn't working properly. So I'm not
upset that it looks like the original. I'm just upset of the magnitude that Stephen Moffat throws classic stuff at you to like show, hey, look, I'm a fan of the original. Like, I mean, I love it and hate it at the same time because you see Capaldi having like a picture of River Song and a picture of Susan on his desk in his third season, and it's like a small.
What does that have to do with the TARDIS?
I'm not talking about the TARDIS. I'm just talking about in general all the stuff that Stephen Moffat is throwing at you. Like you see all the models of the sonic screwdrivers. You see every single model of Dalek in one episode. Every single model of Cyberman in one episode. So like, he's just taking all this classic stuff and just vomiting it onto the screen sometimes.
Look, I hated this guy Joe from high school, but I still love this Mustang, right? So I think okay, that's a weird analogy, but that's what I'm saying is like you may hate what Moffat did, but that's not a horrible TARDIS, and it fit the thing.
No, I'm with Luke.
I like it. I
will say that these glowing lines behind Maisie Williams' character, that's completely original to this TARDIS, which I like it.
Yes,
I thought that was cool.
It wasn't used in the classic series. That's a fun addition to it. So
it's up to you. We both like it in the sexy, but it's up to you where you want to put it.
I mean, yeah, if two people is enough to put it in the sexy, but when? Where?
I would put it above David Tennant.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't like David Tennant.
I can't believe I just agreed to that. So you have to go, Luke, or do we have some more time?
No, I have to head out. I have to.
All right, Luke.
do
right.
stuff with family.
All right,
been
look. So
been a
before
pleasure.
you go, what part of Canada are you from with that accent? I'm just wondering. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know that's Australian.
Yeah, he's Kiwi's neighbor.
Oh yeah.
I know.
So
Anyway, it's so nice to meet you, Luke, and this is wonderful.
Thank y'all for having me on.
Thank you
This
for
was really
backing me
great.
up on the last one.
Oh yeah.
and thank you for the logo.
You're super
You
welcome.
have terrible
enjoyed
taste in
making it.
TARDISes, but thank you for the logo you made from it.
All right.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's find out these last few ones. Let's do rapid fire. Let's find them out. Let's see where we're gonna put them.
Well, I can't say you're going to like any of these because next. Oh wait, no, we actually stopped at some of the classic ones, so let's go back to that for a minute.
Okay.
This one I'm actually a little bit upset that Luke isn't here for because it's the Rani's TARDIS from Time in the Rani.
The original Masters Tardis is not bad.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It's like, really good. It's sexy.
Yeah.
The new one, on the second one, it's awful, right? Like I think when she comes back, but this one's great.
Yeah, and you can actually see
I
the
like
hint.
This one.
You can see the hint of the round things,
right,
but it doesn't go overboard with it.
And it's got
like TARDIS Council. Come on.
What years? So I love the little like nod to Superman, the thing that spins, right? Remember in the 1978 Superman, they had the rings. I love that because you don't see it in motion.
You see when you walk into this TARDIS.
Yeah, this one's sexy. I mean, this one is good. I mean, it's a villain's TARDIS, so you can't really put it, or do we want to put it in the S tier? Because this thing is awesome.
I mean, I know it's a villain's TARDIS, but design-wise, it feels like an S tier TARDIS.
I wish Luke was here if he'd agreed with us, but I say let's put it right underneath Capaldi's because that thing is awesome. Yeah, I forgot how good it looked.
And it kind of set the standard for what the modern era TARDISes would eventually look like.
You know what? Totally forgot about this one, but this is easily the best of the original series. Just bring it up again, just so we can take a look at it again. That's great, but the one with her in it, like, okay, look at that. Look at her outfit. Her outfit matches this is awesome.
Yeah, and it's got these columns with alien bits and jars in it. I love it.
Oh, this thing, yeah, easily one of the best. Yeah, this thing is phenomenal.
Which really upsets me because we have to go from one of the best to one of the worst.
Oh, which
this is the Masters TARDIS from Planet of Fire.
It's not. I mean, I don't like it, but it's not one of the worst.
No, it's the Fifth Doctor's TARDIS from the 20th anniversary,
just painted black.
Evil,
yeah,
painted black. Again,
if you see a row of colors, I want to paint them black.
So much so that he actually made a miniature version of. Actually, that's not even the TARDIS. That's just like a control room. But
yeah, I mean, I don't like. I mean, it's not great, but I don't hate it as much as the others. But you're right, it's not good.
Yeah. Are you a big
maybe
guy,
I don't like it? Put it in the I don't like it.
Where?
Somewhere in the middle, because it's not offensive, because they tried. It does look different, and I mean, you could tell it's the same one, but at least they painted it. At least they paid somebody to paint it.
Yeah. Are you a big Finnish guy, by the way, Rajko?
No, you know what? I've never actually, I've never listened to a single Finnish audio.
That's a shame because
it's a shame. People love them.
So many good ones.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I should probably find some. I'm sure I could find them.
Well, we can talk more about after the show, but basically, there's a series called The War Master, which is basically the Derek Jacobi Master from Utopia. But during the Time War, it's during the Time War, and the theme music for that Big Finish, it's basically an evil version of the Doctor's theme.
Oh, neat!
It's like you get the 4 knocks with the woo, but it feels sinister and evil. And I'll send you what it sounds like later.
So too bad. I don't know if you'd get strikes for doing it, but I'd love to do
off camera.
No. I'd love to do a what do you call it? Like a tiering of the of the title sequences. Like, I mean, there's not that or the music overall, because there's some great themes, right? Not just the
yeah, I would love to do that, but like you said, unfortunately we would get strikes, so we have to do it without listening to the music,
which kind of is boring for people, but too bad. All right,
next one. Sadly, you have to keep on the terrible train with, like you said, the Rani.
Oh God, this is horrible. This, I put it in the worst, because the reason this sucks is that they went from the best to the worst, and I don't know. This is just horrible. This is just like the worst thing I've seen. Like, put it on the bottom. Oh my God, that thing is awful.
And probably the worst part of it is that it's low budget, because they're only doing this 2-parter crossover with EastEnders for charity. So they have good intentions, but terrible looking TARDIS.
But it's terrible, especially since the Ramis was so wonderful, right? The Ranis, I mean, was so wonderful. The first one, yeah. All right, what's next? We got a few left.
This is the one I was nervous to see what you would think. It's the Masters Tardis from Spyfall when he comes back.
I wish we had a better.
There is no good picture of it, and believe me,
it's lazy. It's kind of lazy. I get it.
I know, and I get it, and I understand your frustration. But part of the reason it's lazy is because he's hiding, and he's supposed to keep the TARDIS a secret from the Doctor, so that's why it looks like this.
Yeah, but
and I will say, as far as Master reveals scenes, which could be a list in and of itself, it's one of my favorites, because he's like.
I agree on that part, but so I wouldn't put it in the. Okay, I'll tolerate it. If you want to put it in the sexy, I'll back you. But it's lazy, and honestly, what they did with that character of the Master. I don't know if I want to get into it here, but it's just hideous what they did with what she did to him in the episode where he's a Nazi. It's one of the most despicable things ever done to a character, and it's done by the Doctor. And what she does is like, for those people that don't know, so is a Master, and he's a person of color. Like, the character is I think Indian. Is he? Indian, yeah.
Indian.
So in the episode, he's got like what's it called, the perception filter, so people think he's a Nazi. Like, so he's masquerading as a Nazi, and during World War II. And what she does to him, she basically breaks his or I forget what she does. She uses the stupid sonic screwdriver. Oh my God, they got to stop using the sonic screwdriver as a fucking everything, as a magic wand. But so she breaks his perception filter and outs him as a man of color to the Nazis. What the fuck? Holy shit! Did they know they were doing this when they were writing it? Like,
and especially since he has 2 companions who are person of color, and later in the same season they introduce a doctor who is a person of color.
Right, but what she did to him, like, that is despicable. Like, I mean, if I liked her at all before, which I didn't, that character is dead to me after that. Like, that is like what they have done to the character of the Doctor. They just don't even get me started. And I wish they would have, like, oh my God, I keep forgetting her name. You just mentioned her.
Oh, Martin.
She's so wonderful. Like, they just that 1 or 2 episodes she was in is just phenomenal. But what are you gonna do? Okay, let's move on, because
it's an era of Doctor Who that will be highly debated for many years, many decades, even maybe.
I said this before the show. The last season is easily the worst season of Doctor Who ever, and there has been some awful seasons of Doctor Who, especially in the original run. And this tops easily is the worst of the bunch. And okay, let's move on to let's.
We're not here to discuss that. Where are we putting the Masters Tardis?
Well, you know how I feel about it, so you put it where you want it, because you like it better than I do. But I don't
love it. I love the exterior that
Yeah, the exterior is
it
cool.
basically just looks like a house,
Just
and
put it down there, and let's not
flying.
never talk about it again.
All right. And while I do love the episode Spyfall, but that moment is just when you actually, and when the realization hits you, it's
Yeah, I'm going, wait a minute. He's going to get killed.
but on the other hand, I mean, she knows he's the master and he's good at escaping.
Yeah, but
Stuff like
that's
that.
true, but I don't know if it comes across. And one of the things that I think it's a change in her character is the doctor never ever wanted to hurt the master. He's gone out of his way to protect the master.
Yeah.
Like, like there are times where he should kill the master, and he never does. He has
Yeah.
this love-hate relationship with the master. Really is. He really does deep down inside have a soft spot for the master.
And
So
what I think the thing about Sacha Dhawan's master is he's easily the worst. Not in terms of I don't like it, but as a person, he does the worst stuff to the Doctor, and he destroys Gallifrey. He's like the worst of the worst that the Master has ever done.
well,
Like
I
he's
don't know. The
the
master's
lowest.
destroyed the universe before, so
Yeah, I mean, no, but the thing is, he just
oh, you're
he's
cutting in
like,
and out.
oh, I'm sorry. It happens from time to time. Am I
No,
good
you're
now?
good now. So I apologize if I interrupted you. Yeah, you're good now.
But see, the thing is, the Master, that's the craziest he's ever been. He's like, he's sunk the lowest, and he enjoys it. And while I enjoy Sacha Dhawan's performance,
Maybe
it's like this Doctor Master relationship is easily the rockiest we've ever seen. Like even the Delgado Pertwee interactions, they never actively try, or at least Pertwee doesn't necessarily want to kill the Doctor. For all the Doctor did to the Master and vice versa, they never actually did. Their relationship has never reached a boiling point as much as they do during the Whittaker era.
no, and so this is one, and the one thing I'm sure fans have shipped it, but there is a lot of chemistry between John Pertwee and Delgado. It's like it's smoldering every time they look at each other. It's like, okay,
oh yeah, they were good friends in real life. That's why they have chemistry.
And it comes across, and honestly, sometimes you feel like a sexual tension between them as well, which is kind of cool. Like that's not intended, but it definitely comes across sometimes, which is like cool.
Yeah, Pertwee is one of my favorite Doctors.
Delgado
is my favorite Master.
There is no competition. It's like there's Delgado, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah, in a certain order, but like 5 levels below.
Oh yeah. But, the second best Master. Who would be the second best Master? Me. I like Missy.
I can make an argument for Sim.
Yeah, Sim is good, but I like Missy a lot.
We should do a Masters T ranking list.
Well, that would be a quick episode, but sure.
Problem is, I don't really know much about the Big Finish Masters, so I'm gonna have to familiarize myself with them.
I don't know at all. All right, we got a few. Let's go through these.
Yeah, I think you're going to like this one. It's the Joe Martin Fugitive Doctor.
It's not the best or the worst. It's not bad. It's okay. That's a nice. This is good. This is like the original, but they really did a few flourishes. It's actually better than Clara's.
Much more color.
I do like this one.
Color, and much more design went into it. The Clara one is really empty, which I guess can be filled out, but I'm still shocked that they never went ahead and made a Big Finish spin-off of Clara and Maisie Williams' character.
Me too.
I mean,
it's like
it's like you can just call it Clara and Me. I mean, the name is literally right there waiting for the taking. So
Clara and Me, I like that. I look at the floor on this one. I think this one has to go into sexy because look at the floor. That is a great floor.
I mean, that's straight up Star Trek floor. right there.
Yeah, this is sexy. I have
It's
to go with sexy in that one. Yeah, absolutely.
it's
One of the
very
better
definitely
sexy
sexy.
ones. Yeah, I do like that
Is it
one.
sexier than we said? Better than Clara? Was it sexier than Smith?
Yeah, I would say so.
Both of them?
No, not the second one. It's not sexier than
Okay.
the second one, but yeah,
So
it's definitely
sandwich
good.
between the Smith ones.
Yeah, but it's a nice one. I do like it.
Okay, here's a bit of a throwaway one. We have the one from the Timeless Children when she steals a TARDIS
But
and
it's
runs away.
basically it's the same one. It's the same one we just saw with slight different alteration. So it's fine. They didn't do anything to it. It's the same
Yeah,
one.
I
Look,
mean
it's
they
identical.
they changed the look of this to this, which didn't really add much.
What? I don't even see the difference. What's the difference?
I mean, maybe it's a different angle, but basically, if you look behind the console, we see the round things, and behind Joe Martin, there's what appears to be a chameleon circuit of some kind. But in this one, it's just this computery thing with the lines.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, it's fine. It's like I mean, it's a pale imitation. So whatever, it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, it's bigger on the inside.
They didn't really do anything to it, but it's not awful.
And in between these, okay, so
Yeah.
I suppose you can put it right here.
Okay, the last two. Ooh, let's see if I recognize. I don't recognize them in that small, so let's see what they are.
Actually, the one of these is I think I uploaded the Fourth Doctor's picture twice.
Oh, okay.
I put so many pictures of the Fourth Doctor's TARDIS because I love it so much.
I know I mean, but yeah, I get it. He didn't like it, but it's I mean, it's probably because of nostalgia that we're a little bit up on it. But okay, what about the red one? What is that one?
Yeah, you're gonna hate this one.
Okay,
and I already know it's gonna be probably gonna be at the bottom, but it's the one from the most recent season. It's the Flux, which is where everything went wrong with the TARDIS for whatever reason.
Oh God, yeah, just put it. Hey, you're missing one. You're missing a big TARDIS.
Which one?
Put that one in the bottom, and I'll tell you.
Okay, but basically, it's the one where the doors start popping up.
Yeah, whatever. It's literally forgettable. Okay.
And it's never explained why, which bothers me. They fixed it in the next episode.
Okay. What are you missing? You might be missing two of them, actually. You're missing two of them.
I think I figured that out halfway through the stream. And I
didn't wanna... From the same Doctor, you're missing two of them. You're missing the 8th Doctor from the movie, and you're missing the 8th Doctor from the mini episode.
Holy shit! How did I miss it? Wait a minute.
It's not there. Dude, it's not there.
Wait a minute. I went over every single.
You call yourself a Doctor Who fan? Who?
Okay. I'm ashamed. I'm
you need to apologize right now, young man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand in my Doctor Who fan card because I mean it's literally in the thumbnail. I spent a whole
it is in
day
the thumbnail. So okay,
I spent an entire day searching for these images. How did I miss that?
Missing it is one thing, but not realizing you missed it when we're finished, you should be ashamed of that.
It's been a long day, okay? I'm uploading it now. Here it is.
It's not bad. I don't care what people say. It's a good one. I don't know if it's top tier, but it's definitely sexy. It's sexy.
I would even go.
Do you think it's top tier?
Above sexy. I think so, yeah.
Okay. It's awesome. Yeah. I love this TARDIS. The movie itself is not great, but this is an awesome TARDIS. And do you have the interior from the mini-sode?
We don't actually see the inside of the TARDIS in that mini-sode.
You're right. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, you're right. We don't.
Is it better than the Rani's TARDIS?
No. It's not better than the Rani's. but
so it's the bottom of the S tier.
Yes, and so it's like we've got one from the new one from the original, and one from the transition, which I think is a nice S tier.
Yeah,
that is
it's
a
a
very
great
nice
looking
S
S
tier.
tier. Do we
No, how did you again? Let's go back to your absolute inadequacies as a Doctor Who fan. How did you miss that one?
I have no idea. I spent an entire day searching for TARDISes, and I have no excuse. I have no explanation. I have no idea how I did that.
I'm just pulling your leg, but I remember when I was doing the research looking at these, actually you got way more than I got, but because I missed the Rani Tardis when I was doing my research, but that's one of the first ones that I actually saw was the 8 Doctors, because I remember really liking that when I saw it the first time around.
I love this, and I love this TARDIS. It's like, okay, you probably weren't here for this one, but it's basically the Menoptera story all over again. Did I ever tell you the Menoptera story, by the way?
What's the Menoptera story? All right, let's end this on the Menoptera story.
So basically, we have this thing called the Alien game, where you have to fit. You're given a description of an alien species, and you have to guess if it's from Star Wars or not.
Is it, or do you just, is it in Star Wars, or do you have to guess where it is? So it's like, can you just say not Star Wars, or do you have to guess where it's from?
No, you have to. It's just you have to guess if it's from Star Wars or not.
Okay.
And you get bonus points for if you can guess the alien species.
Okay.
And I was given a description which I knew right away was Menoptera, but I was like, here's where my arrogance came in. I was so sure that the question writers would not even think to write a Menoptera question, so I just didn't write a Menoptera, and I'm mad at myself every day since. Like I wanted to jump out of a window that day. Like I was so mad at myself, and ever since then, Soda keeps bringing up this picture whenever he wants to shut me up, because that picture reminds me of bad things.
Is it just me, or is that episode get way more hate than it deserves?
Who hates that episode? I love that episode.
A lot of people hate it. I love that. It's weird. Yes, it's low budget. Yes, those guys look, but I love that. It's a great story. But people hate it.
I don't understand people sometimes. Do you want to quickly go over these last 2 TARDISes that I just randomly added while we were talking? What are
these? I don't even know what this is.
It's the Scream of the Shalka TARDIS from the Scream of the Shalka episode, which was the animated episode.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh. It was supposed to be the official 9th Doctor before they officially brought back the show with Christopher Eccleston.
But it's fine. There's nothing. It's okay.
It's a shame you don't see it very often. So,
and then what's the other one you wanted to show?
I think it's sexy, but I love the
it's sexy. It's whatever. I mean, I'm indifferent to it, but then again, I haven't seen it.
And here's the other one. It's from the Curse of Fatal Death.
Yeah, just the original with lights. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's still funny and comedic, which is the reason why I decided to put it here.
It's one of the funniest things, and I love how it goes through all the Doctors. And I'm telling you, Hugh Grant as a Doctor, that is a missed opportunity. I would have loved to watch like a sexy Doctor Who, like even sexier than John Pertwee. Like a sexy Doctor Who, man, that would have been great.
Okay, it's definitely bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But actually, so there's the thing. Who do you think is the sexiest Doctor? Is it John Pertwee?
It's kind of I would say it's a three-way
the 8th Doctor. The 8th Doctor. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, the 8th Doctor. I would say it's a 3-way tie between Pertwee, Eccleston, and Tennant. I mean, you do know that Tennant's nickname is David
Eccleston
Tennant.
is sexy?
You don't like Eccleston?
Okay. So David, Tennant, but the Eighth Doctor is way sexier than Eccleston. Please.
Okay. If you say so. So next episode is who is the sexiest Doctor ever? So, I'm just kidding.
Actually, well, let's get canceled. Let's rate all the companions.
We already did that.
Go through. No,
we
but just the pure
that.
sexiness scale.
Oh, yeah. That will get us canceled. That will get us canceled. But
no, but we'll go through all of them because you'd be surprised at the ones that be because we mentioned Joe Grant before. I don't know if we mentioned it before the show or on here, but Joe Grant was the first one I had a crush on when I was a kid. Yeah,
I can see why. See why. So are we including K9 and Chameleon as the sexy companions?
Okay, K9 is in the S tier of sexy. Chameleon is on the bottom tier of sexy.
Yeah, he's trash mainly because they found that stupid thing in a junkyard. That's the true story, by the way. They actually found it in a junkyard.
That's ridiculous.
Much like the TARDIS. And it was John Nathan Turner wanted to bring something like K9 back to the show, so he put this robot character that he found in a junkyard somewhere, and the stupid thing never worked. It never worked, and maybe this is a topic for another show. But there's so many. There's a list of people associated with that prop who died shortly after.
What? Yeah, the thing never worked.
It never worked. The guy died before he can leave instructions on how to operate it. It's a whole thing. Look it up. It makes the Superman curse feel like an urban legend. I'm not kidding you. It makes the Superman curse feel like a playground story. But that is a story for another time, which is the outro that I say every episode. So this is easily the longest episode of this show.
Well, I'm sorry. So we were right. We warned people before we got on the air that between the two of us, this will be the longest show. And guess what? It's the longest show. Thank you so much. I loved being on. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Thank you for coming. And just so you know, in any minute now, Soda is going to show up and he's going to do this to me.
Why? Because you went so long?
Yeah, they don't like it when I talk about Doctor. I mean, the reason I got this show is because I did like 2 pretty much back-to-back streams where one was 5 hours and one was 6 hours just talking Doctor Who.
So we might as well.
This is Soda right now.
Well, that reminds me of like not to talk about other podcasts here, but the critically acclaimed. They used to mention Star Trek on every episode, every episode they ever did. So they said, all right, if we do a show where we talk about every single episode of Star Trek ever, then maybe we'll stop talking about Star Trek on the other shows. And you know what? They haven't. So they're doing the show and they keep talking about Star Trek on the other episodes as well. Just like you.
That's why they gave me this show, because I talk about Doctor Who so much. They thought that if they give me my own show, I'm just going to exhale all the Doctor Who-ness out and there won't be any left for me to talk about Doctor Who on the other shows. And guess what? They were wrong. So
do you realize next year is going to be the 60th friggin' anniversary of the show? How could you?
Woo! And Russell T. Davies is coming back.
Okay. I am worried, immensely worried of that, because I did like him, but bringing back like nostalgia, I don't know. We'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But
he's a different man now than he was back then. I will say that.
And he wrote, just to end this off, he wrote probably the best. Is it 5 hours of television? It's right up there, which is was it Children of Earth?
Children of Earth.
Which is Torchwood Children of Earth is one of the best limited. I guess it's a miniseries. I don't know.
Yeah,
is it an episode series or whatever, limited series? That thing is easily one of the best things he's ever done, and it's one of the best things that TV's ever done. It's awesome.
Yep, and the less said about what comes up after that one, the better.
Yeah, it's not awful. It's Americanized, but it's not awful.
Yeah, but it's not awful. But like I said, the less said about that, the better. Anyway, so where can people find you, Rajko?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter. You can at Rajko_KR. Or you can find me. Come to the Outlaw Nation. I'm there all the time, and I pop up on
multi-division champ right here. Multi-division champ right here.
Oh, you're pointing at me. That's right. Oh yeah. So people who don't know, if you guys like trivia, come check out the Outlaw Nation Patreon. We have a trivia league, and Soda here it competes in it, and he kicked my ass in Doctor Who. Man, I was very upset
because
I didn't. Huh?
Did you call me Soda?
Did I call you Soda? Fuck yeah, I did.
No, you played
I called
Soda
you 50 the whole show. You mentioned Soda strangling you, and then I got Soda stuck in my brain.
No, because when you said kick my butt, I was like, wait, didn't you beat him in the Canadian one that you did?
No, he beat me. Soda beat me.
Really?
It went down to sudden death.
Wow.
It was one of the best matches ever. So if you come down, Nation, you can actually watch that one. And he beat me because my 5-pointer, the answer was blindness. The movie Blindness. I answered blind.
Oh, ouch!
Ouch! And then Peter. It went to the and we were like neck and neck in the sudden death. And then the question was this, son of a bitches, what drink does I forget his name, but in Ghostbusters. Of
course you wanted a soda question.
And the answer was what was the answer? Yeah, Club Soda. The answer was Club Soda. I am so upset. Well, anyway, this is about Doctor Who. Thank you again.
Well, you know what they say, man. Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. So I was operating on the assumption. I was operating on the assumption that the only loss you had last year was for me in the Doctor Who thing. So now I'm going to have to live with that extra knowledge. But anyways, you can find me talking about some more Doctor Who every week on this show, the greatest show in the galaxy. You can also find me on my own YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. I also show up on Twitch regularly whenever I have time to do so. Might not be able to do that in a while because I got a new job. But I had a gaming channel, but I'm retiring that one because I never did anything with it. So any gaming stuff is going to be exclusively on Twitch for me for the foreseeable future. I am also on many other shows on this channel. I'm on Get Sweaty. Next week, I think we're going to have the Alien Game Championship, which I wrote the question, or half the questions for. And if you saw the last time I wrote questions for that game, you kind of should be prepared for the unexpected. But yeah, I show up on some of the other shows here. We have a show that's all about what I call lesser television because it's not Doctor Who, with Daniel and Snark. It's called Have You Seen This? We have Mount Schmodown. Sadly, Ben is stepping down from that for the time being, but and it's entirely in the hands of Ryan. We have Schmodown Analytics with the wonderful Mr. Double D. Let's talk about Star Wars, as I mentioned, with Taco and Gold Leader. What else? We have shows coming out almost every day of the week now, especially now since the Schmodown season is coming back and wrapping up for a big return. So it will mean the world to us if you could subscribe to this channel and follow us on the various shows we do here on the Northern Entertainment Group. Anyways, me and Rajko are going to talk some more Doctor Who off camera so we don't waste any more of your screen time. And, in the words of River Song herself, goodbye, sweeties.